Anthony Faulkner, thanks for being with us at Journal of Gospel Music.
No problem. Thanks for having me. I'm very honored.
Now, tell us where you grew up.
I grew up in Los Angeles, California, and I studied voice and musical theater at Alexander Hamilton Academy of Music, where I received my introduction to music by world-renowned music legend Angela Winbush. And from there, I went and did acting and did a lot of things in theater and music, and that was where my beginnings started.
Did you always want to be in music and theater when you were growing up?
No, I had no idea about what music was until, Angela Winbush came up to me in church one day and asked me a question. And the question was, do you like music? And at that point, I just figured yes was the answer. And she challenged me to go to school and play an instrument. And from there, it wasn't until I saw her on TV with another music legend that I said, Mommy, that's the lady at church who's been telling me to do all these music things. And then once I heard her and the other artists sing, I knew at that point music is what I wanted to do.
And so she heard you in church, and that's what inspired her to come up to you?
No, she saw me as just a kid. She just literally walked up to me one day, and I call her my guardian angel because she just came and just birthed something new into my life. She didn't know me from any of the other kids. She just walked up to me one day and said, "Hi, my name is Sister Angela, and what's your name?" And, they call me Tony by nickname. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Tony," and she's like, "Well, do you like music?" I was like, yeah. And then she went on from there. So it was really amazing. So once I found out that she was a singer and started researching and finding out all the, massive things that she's done in the music industry, it kind of captivated me and made me want to dive into full swing, and I did.
So talk about how you decided to go the sacred or the gospel route as opposed to any other route, or did you start in the pop world and kind of move to gospel?
Well, I started in church singing in the gospel choir, but because Angela Winbush and Ronald Isley are secular artists, I did do some secular work as well. But it wasn't until I went to the studio, Babyface's studio. I was called to do a session for Yolanda Adams, her first Christmas CD. I sang back up on that CD, and then I met gospel legend Ricky Grundy, who wrote the song, "If You Confess the Lord, Call Him Up." So from there, we started working together. We formed a company called RG2 Music Group that basically dealt with a lot of singers in Los Angeles, and we contracted them out to do other events. But Ricky was big over in Europe as well, so we went over to Europe, and we released a project called Testimony. So going over to Europe with Ricky was my very first experience to singing, gospel on a professional platform. And from there, it changed my life. And from there, I started singing with Andre Crouch, and, the process just continued to grow from there.
So describe your experience in Europe. How did the audience respond to your singing?
Growing up in a charismatic church, they correspond with you as you're singing. Mm-hmm. But everything was really quiet and mellow, and, they listened to all the words. And it wasn't until afterwards that, the applause, and then speaking to me after the event, telling me just how, they were moved by my voice, and just they heard the lyrical content, It was just very moving to me that my voice had that type of, I was used to be able to inspire so many people.
So you had a chance to work with Andre Crouch. Any lessons or tips that you learned from him while you were working with him?
Yes, he taught me, to always give your best, don't be afraid to hold back, just give everything that you have, and, the Lord will work everything from there. But, it was just so much fun working with him over in Africa. He was a lot of fun, and he always had, jokes and just words of wisdom to tell you at the same time. So it was truly, I was very grateful to have that opportunity to work with such an amazing legend.
It's a great point, because I think a lot of people don't realize they see Andre Crouch in one respect, but he was pretty down to earth, and he was funny.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Just kind of you talk about stuff off the cuff and everything, yeah.
Correct. And that was my first trip to Africa, was with Andre Crouch. So I have tons of footage, behind-the-scenes footage from, my personal camcorder that I have. So I told myself I was going to make some time and kind of edit something together and put it out there in the, social media world. Oh,
sure, yeah, especially now that since he's gone on, it's a great memory. Yeah. So what made you decide, okay, I'm going to step out as a soloist. I'm going to do this?
Well, I've always known inside that I had something different. It was just finding out exactly how to get that translated into something that was on a professional level. So I've been working at this, learning what not to do, learning what to do in this industry. But it wasn't until Ricky Grundy and I did TBN that I received a life-changing prophecy by Prophet Gary Zamora. And he spoke into my life, my own international ministry, my own record label, my own mission of what I'm supposed to do as far as show, the nations how to worship God and to give him glory and praise. And then from there, that opened up. And I've always been a business-minded individual as far as came that I was going to go to Nigeria after TBN and then over to South Africa. I was prepared and I was ready to go ahead and walk through that open door. Dot every I, cross every T, make sure everything is, is legitimate and in order. So when the opportunities, and from there, the rest is history. So I've been the first American on many platforms internationally, one being working with the Oslo Soul Children on their Jump CD. I've also, placed the song on there, and I was performing it as well. That went platinum also. I was the first American on the Night to Remember concert series in Uganda with Bishop Robert Kayanja with Miracle Center there. In Kenya, I was the first American on the Groove Awards, which is comparable to our Grammys. And I was so honored to have presented an award and also have been able to perform on there. From that opportunity, I was invited to Rwanda, where so I've been working with so many various cultures and artists, from different walks of life. I've been over to Milan, Italy, and worked with Fabio Cari on our song titled Symphony. So it's just been an amazing adventure so far.
So like a real ambassador for gospel music.
Yes, very much so. Yes, sir.
Well, tell us about I Trust You, your new single.
Yes, I wrote the song during a transitional period in my life. I was moving from Los Angeles to Houston, Texas, and, the Lord had just said, okay, your time here is up. I have bigger things for you. I was like, well, okay, I'm moving from Los Angeles to Houston, and I don't have anything set up as far as, keeping my music going. Of course, there's plenty of, corporate jobs and things to do, but I've become so accustomed to going to auditions and things of that nature in Los Angeles that I didn't necessarily know how to slow down, how to stop, how to live, because it was always a continuous overhaul of trying to get the next gig. So when the Lord had transitioned me from Los Angeles to Houston, I was able finally to sit down and listen to his voice and have greater clarity on the next phase of my life. I didn't know if I was going to keep singing. I didn't know what was going to happen, but the Lord worked everything out. I sat down and wrote that song, I Trust You, which talks about not knowing where my next dime is going to come from, and just trusting God and knowing that he's going to make a way out of no way. And I went back to school when I moved to Houston and earned my accounting degree. It's been an amazing experience. And I was still, traveling overseas and doing those things, but the Lord has been faithful, and I was able to pen the song, I Trust You.
The day nor time, you never left my side, no. When I cried at night from a broken heart, you lifted all the pain. Unemployed, fighting survival, you met my every need. And I will tell of all your goodness. I've been through it all, and I've learned to trust in you. In spite of all the trials that come, I trust you. I've been through it all, and I've learned to trust in you. In spite of all the trials that come, I trust you. Oh Lord, you know the destiny and the roads I'm gonna take. No weapon formed shall prosper. I know you're there all the way. For you're the lover of my soul, and the reason I'm made whole. I adore you. I've been through it all, and I've learned to trust in you. In spite of all the trials that come, I trust you. I've been through it all, and I've learned to trust in you. In spite of all the trials that come, I trust you.
what's next for you in terms of recordings?
Well, the full CD, which is titled Guardian Angel, will be out probably beginning of fourth quarter of this year. I'm also working on a reality show, which is called Guardian Angel, that is going to be different scenarios in different countries around the world that I'm bringing to America to put, on TV. So I'm excited about that. I also have a fragrance line that's coming out titled Guardian Angel as well. I have a few celebrities on the CD that, those singles will be coming out as well. So there's a lot on the horizons, and I've been doing a lot of spot dates here in the U.S., and I just recently returned from Africa and Dubai, and I'm just excited about what's ahead.
So Guardian Angel is really kind of the theme that's running through your ministry and your life right now.
Yes, it is, because it talks about how the Lord sent Angela Winbush to give me new direction. Growing up in Los Angeles, it was very humble beginnings, didn't know what was going to happen next. Every day was a new day. But since God sent her to give me a vision and something to live for and to hope for and to aspire after, it's my mission now to do that for as many people as I possibly can. And with that being said, I founded the Faulkner Foundation, which is a foundation that travels to different orphanages overseas, and, we give support, educational resources, and love on the kids and spend time with the kids just to let them know that regardless of what they feel life has dealt them, there's much more to, go after. And as long as they can believe that there's much more, they can go after that. So that's something that I want to keep going, because that's what Angela Winbush did for me, and just want to keep it moving forward.
Does Angela Winbush know, have you spoken with her to tell her all the things you've done as a result of her initial approach?
Yes, but she doesn't think that she did anything, She's just like, doesn't really think that she did anything. She doesn't know the dynamic of it, but she did grace me on the CD. We have a duet, which is called Closer, and that video has been filmed and is out of post-production, so I'm excited about that.
Well, that's terrific. Well, Anthony Faulkner, sounds like you're doing great work, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. It's so much more to come, I'm sure.
Yes. I'm actually leaving this week to film CBN in Norfolk, Virginia, and then next month I'll be doing some spot dates on TBN as well. So we definitely have a lot going on. The team is working really hard, diligently to get things on a higher level in the U.S. And everybody overseas is watching everything happening in the U.S., and they're excited for me as well. So it's truly a great time. Just have to stick with it and keep putting God first and just trusting and believing.
Absolutely. Well, Anthony, thank you for spending time at Journal of Gospel Music today.
Thank you so much, Bob. I appreciate the opportunity.
You're welcome.